Hello, welcome to Max tutorial. This class will be based on Microsoft Excel, an introductory class that will help you understand how to work with Microsoft Excel. This video is proudly Nigeria. I hope you enjoy. Happy viewing. For those new to Microsoft Excel, the first thing I would love to put you through is how to open Microsoft Excel. To do this, you go down to the Start button, click on the Start button, depending on the version of Windows you're using, whether it's Windows 7, 8, or 10. But I'm using Windows 7, so I'll go down to the Start button. It presents us with the Start menu. In the Start menu, look out for Microsoft Excel. If you're unable to find Microsoft Excel in the Start menu, go down to All Programs and click. Select Microsoft Office. This is Microsoft Office 2013. Then scroll down to Microsoft Excel and click. This is Microsoft Excel 2013. I'm going to maximize the window. To start off with Microsoft Excel, we're going to choose the option that has blank workbook. So this is our Microsoft Excel interface. For us to fully understand how to manipulate Microsoft Excel, we have to understand the interface elements. First on the list of interface elements is what we call the title bar. The title bar presents the default or given name of a document. In this case, we have a default name, Book 1, on the title bar. It tries to tell us that the default name until we save the document is Book 1. Quick Access Toolbar. The Quick Access Toolbar enables us to collate in a particular location frequently used commands for easier access. To the extreme right of the title bar, we have the Microsoft Excel Help icon with a shortcut key of F1 that enables us to get help on Microsoft Excel. Next to that is the ribbon display option. With the ribbon display option, we'll determine how a ribbon is to be displayed. If it displays just only the tabs, the entire ribbon, or none at all. Next to that, we have a minimize button. The minimize button will enable us to minimize Microsoft Excel. And we have the restore button to resize Microsoft Excel. And we have the close button to close Microsoft Excel. The next interface element I would love to introduce is what we call the ribbon. The ribbon is the entire section immediately below the title bar. The ribbon is further categorized into tabs. We have the Home tab, the Insert tab, the Page Layout tab, the Formula tab, the Data tab, the Review tab, and the View tab. Within each tab, we further have sub-categorization of commands into groups. On the Home tab, we have clipboards, we have font, we have alignment, we have number, we have styles, we have cells, and editing groups. On the Formula tab, we have function library, we have defined names, we have formulas auditing, we have calculation and solution. If we should go down to the View tab, we have worksheet views group, we have show group, we have zoom group, we have window group, and macros group. So this is how the ribbon is organized into tabs, further categorized into groups, of related commands. For those who are new to Microsoft Excel, I would love to introduce you to the File tab. Once I click on the File tab, it launches us to what we call the Backstage View. The Backstage View are made up of commands that help us manipulate and perform different and varying functions in Microsoft Excel. The first command is info command. The info command gives us more information about the workbook we are currently working on. Things we ought to know about the workbook. We could see more about the info command within the center pane or the right pane. There is a new command. A new command enables us to open a new workbook as required. We have the open command. The open command enables us to open up already saved workbook that we would love to use. Then we have save command. The save command enables us to save a workbook for the very first time with a desired name and location. Save as command. The save as command privileges to save a document with a different name or location. There is the print command. The print command enables us to print finished documents and to determine the setting and layout of the printout by altering its settings. We have the share command. The share command enables us to share finished documents with others. Export grants us privilege to save our documents in other formats such as PDF or XPS. Close command. Close command enables us to close a particular workbook in Microsoft Excel. There is the account command. The account commands give us access to information regarding the product and its activations. The option command grants us the privilege of making certain alterations to default setting in Microsoft Excel. Then finally we have the add-ins. The add-ins grants us options to add add-ins to Excel to improve its performance or enhances to perform particular functions. So this is the Backstage View and its commands. The first thing I would love you to learn about Microsoft Excel is how to save a document. To save a document for the first time, the Save and the Save As button performs equally the same function. But for subsequent time, it is advisable to use the Save As button. To save the document for the first time, I simply click on Save, then determine within the center pane where to save the document, whether it's to a OneDrive, on the computer, or some other places like an external hard drive. In this scenario, I'll be saving this document on the computer. To determine where within the computer I will save the document or the name I would give to the document, I'll go down to the right pane and click on Browse. Once I click on Browse, the Save As dialog box appears. Within the Save As dialog box, there's a section called the file name. I'll simply type a name for my file within the box provided against the file name. It is recommended that the name of your file reflects the content of your file. This makes finding a particular file much more easier. The name I'll be giving to this file is Max Tutorial 1. Right underneath the file name is Save As type. I am free to alter the Save As type as pleased. By clicking on the Save As drop-down list, I could choose what format to save my file in, whether it's an XML data, a PDF format, a CSV, or a Unicode text. There are various options, but for those new to Excel, I recommend that you leave the Save As type as default, which is Excel Workbook. Once I'm done with that, I'll have to determine which precise location on my computer I would want this document to be saved. I could choose any option where to save it, but in this scenario, I'm going to choose desktop by clicking on desktop. Once I click on the desktop, I'll go down to save and click save. Now my file is saved, and on the title bar we have the name Max Tutorial 1 on the title bar. Now we have understood how to save a document. I would want to bring you into understanding the work area of a workbook. This section is the work area of a workbook, and it is made up of cells. Cells are intersection of a row and a column. They are the various tiny boxes that you can see in the work area. Each of a cell in the work area is named, and the name given to a cell is column letter against row number. Now, for us to fully understand cell naming or naming of a cell, I'll put you through columns and rows. Columns are vertical arrangements of the spreadsheet or work area. They are alphabetically ordered. We have column A, B, C, D, E, F. While rows are horizontal arrangement of the worksheet or work area. They are numerically ordered. We have row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so forth. To identify the name of a cell is named column letter versus row number. A name of an active cell is displayed in the name box. The name box displays the name of an active cell. In this scenario, we have D6, indicating that the cell is on column D in row 6. If I click away, we have I8, indicating that the cell is on column I in row 8. It is necessary for you to see how wide the spreadsheet is, and for me to give you that understanding, I would love to show you the last column on the spreadsheet. And to do that, I'm going to click on Ctrl right arrow key, and once I do that, you could see that the last column on the spreadsheet is XFD. For you to see the last row on the spreadsheet, I'm going to click on Ctrl down arrow, and it shows that the last row on the spreadsheet is 1,048,576. This is to show you how wide the spreadsheet is. Although in our daily use of Excel, we might not exhaust these columns and rows. To go back to the very first cell, that's cell A1, I'll click on Ctrl Home. It takes me to the very first cell, that is cell A1. Now we have understood cell, it is important for us to know how to type into a cell. We can type into a cell by either clicking on the cell and typing right away, or double clicking till we see the text editor and we type in. Now in this case, I have my text editor. To type in, I'm going to type we have welcome to Max Tutorial. A newer concept I want you to learn is what we call the formula bar. The formula bar is right off the name box. The formula bar displays the content of an active cell. Once I make a cell active, you identify an active cell by the darker border around the cell. Once I make a cell active and type in this case, welcome tutorial. What I have typed is as well presented in the formula bar. If I click on the enter key to shift the active cell to B4, you will realize that the formula bar is as well empty because there's no content in the cell B4. Or if I make B3 active, the content within B3 is also displayed in the formula bar. So it makes it possible for me to either edit by double clicking on the cell or by clicking on the formula bar and editing right from the formula bar. So that is all about formula bar. I would want you to make an observation. Though we typed into cell B3, the content of B3 has spilled into C3 and D3. As I click on C3, you will observe that the formula bar is empty, and on D3 you also observe that the formula bar is empty. It implies that the content welcome to Mac tutorial is only on B3 but has spilled into C3 and V3. To ensure that it stays right within B3, I'm going to come to the line between the header of the columns B and C and double click to auto set the width of the column, that is auto expand the width of the column, or drag to manually expand the width of the column. So by doing this, it ensures that the content of a cell stays within a particular column. Another way to achieve this is to do what we call a test wrap. To do a test wrap, I'll go to home and go to the alignment group and locate wrap text and click on it. By wrapping the text, it ensures that the width of the column is not extended, but the content of the cell stays within the provided width. This is what we call wrap text. In the same way, we could expand the width of a column or contrast the width of the column. We can also increase the height of a row or contrast or reduce the height of a row. To achieve that, we go to the row we want to increase or reduce its height, either up the row header or down the row header. In this case, I'm going down the row header that I want to resize its height, drag down to increase the height, or drag up to reduce the height. So this is how we can resize either the width of a column or the height of a row. Let's learn how to copy the content of a cell to subsequent cells. We could achieve this through the help of a fill handle. To do this, I'll go to the right lower corner of an active cell. You could see the position of my cursor. It is indicated by a small dark cross without arrowheads. I'll simply drag the fill handle. It automatically copies the content of the previous active cell down all cells to which I drag the fill handle to. Another thing I would love to show you is how to move the content of a cell to a new position. To achieve this, go right to the edge of the cell, any position except the position that activate the fill handle, then drag to a new position. So this is how to either copy the content of a cell to subsequent cells or move the contents of a cell to a new location. Let's learn how to edit the content of a cell. It is important to note when you want to edit the content of a cell, double click on the cell. If you don't intend to erase all the text of that cell. In this scenario, I want to remove the comma right after welcome, so I double click, go to the comma and erase it, give a space and click on my enter key. If I don't double click the cell before editing, it totally wipes all the content of the cell. By simply clicking on the cells and I intend to edit, it will erase the entire content of that cell. So it's important to double click on your cell before editing. Another way you could edit is by clicking on the cell and going directly to the formula bar to edit that cell. So you could see, welcome to Mac tutorial. These are various ways to edit a cell. If I want to select the entire work area in a worksheet, I could easily achieve this by going right above the row headers and to the left of the column headers and click. This gives me the privilege of selecting the whole work area, and to deselect, I come within the work area and click. This enables me to deselect the whole work area. The next concept I want to introduce is what we call sheets. Sheets in Excel are like pages in a book. Within each pages we have different text and different weddings. In Excel we have sheets that we could use to represent different data. By default, Excel 2013 comes with just one sheet, unlike previous version that came with 3. To add more sheets, I simply click on the new sheet button and I add sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4 and so forth. In this case we have sheet 5, sheet 6 and sheet 7 because I've deleted sheets from this workbook. An active sheet has a lighter color and for the sheet name is indicated in a different color. So to make sheet 1 active, I simply go back to sheet 1 and click. Then our welcome to Max tutorial reappears. You could rename a sheet. This helps you differentiate one worksheet from another, apart from the default name of having sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3 and so forth. Now to rename a sheet, I could either double click to rename. In this case I type Max 1, or I could right click to rename, go up to rename and I'll type Max 2. So this is how to rename a worksheet. I'll go back to Max 1 and make it active by clicking on it. For us to navigate within a worksheet, we could use our horizontal scroll bar by dragging right or left, or we could use our vertical scroll bar by dragging down or up. We could make use of the down arrow navigation button to scroll down, or make use of the up arrow navigation button to scroll up. Likewise, we could make use of the left arrow navigation button to scroll to the left of a sheet, or use the right arrow navigation button to scroll to the right of a worksheet. So this is how to navigate through a worksheet. Another thing I would want you to gain understanding is how to navigate through the cells in a worksheet. To navigate through the cells in a worksheet, you can simply click on the cells, or you could boycott that by using the keys on the keyboard. To achieve this, I could use the down arrow key to move down a cell, or use the up arrow key to move up a cell. I could as well use the right arrow key to move right of a cell and the left arrow key to move left of a cell. I could achieve the same result by using the tab key to move right of a cell, the shift tab to move left of a cell, the enter key to move down a cell, the Shift Enter to move up a cell. So this is how to navigate through the worksheet. I hope you truly enjoy this class. Hope you enjoy subsequent classes. Hi, I'm Marque Cecilia. Any suggestion, correction, or comments that will help make this video interactive and informative is highly welcome. Kindly like or subscribe to this video. You can as well make requests for video you would like to have on Excel. Thank you for choosing Max Tutorial. Proudly Nigeria. Thank you.